Welcome back and welcome to Heathrow Airport. This is Terminal 2 here, and I'm starting another trip today and I'm very excited for it, and you will find out why very soon. First up, just got to check in. Here's the first hint that we have passed through security. I can introduce today's video properly to you. We're going to be spending 24 hours on Air China, and we're travelling from London here to Beijing, and then from Beijing to Auckland in New Zealand. And so the first flight from London to Beijing is scheduled to be around 11 hours, and then second flight from Beijing to Auckland should be around 13 hours. So there's your 24 hours. Luckily, the way that the two flights are scheduled, I do have around a 12-hour layover in Beijing, so actually under the new visa rules, I should be able to visit the city a bit, which should be exciting, and I'll bring to you in another video. How much did this cost, you might be asking, and you are in for a surprise. The round trip cost from London to Auckland with Air China was less than 600 British pounds, less than 600 quid return flights to New Zealand. Granted, it may take a little bit longer than with some airlines because of the extended stopover in Beijing, but not by much, because if you're travelling to New Zealand, it takes pretty much 2 days, no matter who you fly with. So 600 quid is half, maybe even a third of the cost of some airline. Right, well, that worked out well. All checked in, managed to got my bag approved as cabin bag, which is always nice because I really can't be arsed dealing with luggage carousels. Also, they issued me boarding pass from Beijing to Auckland as well, which saves me having to check in when I get to Beijing when I finish what I'm planning for my layover. The Chinese airlines like Air China, they do get a bit of a bad press. So I suppose the main purpose of this video is working out whether they're good value for money, because if the service is pretty good but you're paying half the price for the ticket, then surely that's worthwhile. And this is today's plane. This is Air China's Airbus A350-900, and it's going to take us the 5,000 miles to Beijing. The start of 24 hours on Air China. Well, this all looks very nice. First impressions, it looks pretty decent. Legroom is standard. Little blanket and pillow and a screen. Seems okay. Well, there's the seat properly, standard legroom, adjustable headrest. Pretty comfortable. First impressions are, seems okay. Legroom is fine for me. I'm not particularly tall anyway, so that sort of stuff doesn't bother me. Very similar cabin to an Air Canada flight that I took recently. So you've got power in by there, decent screen. Seems like it'll be fine for me. Well, another thing people seem fairly interested in is the selection on the entertainment system. Air China offer a mixed selection, so there is some Western stuff, new release Hollywood films and TV, mixed with some Chinese and some Asian film and TV too.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard this Air China flight.
And just like that, it's time for first meal service. All look pretty good on first inspection. I went for the beef, so it was beef and rice. The salad was like a couscous salad with some prawns. And yeah, all pretty good. Boring wooden cutlery though. But the couscous salad with the prawns was really nice. Beef with rice was as to be expected on an Air China flight, but pretty tasty, to be honest. The dessert was the real winner though, because it was a raspberry and white chocolate cheesecake, which was much better than I expected to be served on an Air China flight. So yeah, winning all round. Stretch and a little bathroom tour. So I've realised now that the sound quality whenever I do these bathroom tours is awful, so I'm going to just do them in voiceover now. The bathroom was pretty well stocked, all the usual stuff you'd expect in there. We were a few hours in and after meal service, so this was pretty good. And time for a sleep now. And now it's breakfast time, so this is called beef congee, which to me is beefy porridge. And I'm going to be honest, no, it's as bad as it looks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed. To ensure your and other passengers' safety, kindly remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and luggage.
Flight 1 done. Right, well, that is flight 1 done, so we will put a pause on that until my flight later to Auckland. Okay, welcome to Beijing Airport. Spacious. Massive as well. There's at least 4 terminals. So we will be getting our second of the Air China flights, the longer of the 2, sadly. This flight is taking me from Beijing to Auckland. Ooh, let's see if it's on the board. Yeah, there it is. 1:15. So I've actually got about 6 hours until my flight, and I don't even need to check in yet because I've got a boarding pass already from London. So I don't know whether to eat something this side before going through security or whether to just go through security. Not sure. Might try and find a souvenir as well. It's very nice. All very yellow. Very traditional. It's odd, you find in different countries they're fussy about different things with security. In the UK it's liquids, and in China it turns out it's batteries. And I forgot that my GoPro batteries were in my little bag and they had a hissy fit with me. So bear that in mind if you're ever coming through China, declare your batteries. That is what I need, not currency exchange, I need coffee. Not a ton of options, so Costa will have to do. Okay, coffee secured. Making my way down to the gate now. I'm probably just going to chill out, to be honest. I'm not really sure what else content-wise there is to bring you. These are what the gates look like here in Beijing. There's a Starbucks there actually. Bit of competition. Ooh. There's everything I need down here from now on, to be honest. There's toilets, places to get a drink if I need another drink. That's about it. About 3.5 hours until flight, I'll probably board, so I'll just chill out from now, I think. So some stuff I found in China is fairly pricey compared to cost of living here, so like Starbucks, McDonald's, all that jazz. But for generic stuff like water from a vending machine down there was incredibly cheap. 44 pence. Buzzing. Well, looks as though boarding is about to start, so that'll be good. Ready for this second part of today and yesterday and sort of the day before now's trip with Air China to Auckland. Here we go, down the jet bridge for our 13-hour flight to Auckland. And this leg of the journey is on a Boeing 787, and it is going to be taking us the 6,500 miles from Beijing to Auckland. So, well, I'm boarded, pretty much exactly the same as the flight out to Beijing. Plane's a little bit older. I think this plane's 8 years old, whereas the one out was only 1 year old. You can tell a little bit just because there's still actual plugs rather than just the USBs, but other than that everything seems pretty much exactly the same, so that's alright. The flight out was pretty good. I was quite happy with how it went. Yeah, just hope it's not as warm because it was boiling on the flight out. Literally half of the plane was sweating. Yeah, it wasn't great, but there's not really much you can do, I suppose. Sorry to keep going on before the flight actually begins, but I know this isn't exclusive to Air China, but when I booked this flight, it definitely said that it was 13 hours. And it should be 13 hours, because we're leaving at just gone 1 AM, Beijing time, plus 5 hours. And then it's 13 hours on from there is our scheduled arrival time. However, when you look at the screen, it says 11 hours and 35 minutes. No idea. Completely gone out the window. Oh well. Still using 24 hours on Air China as the name for the video. So.
In the world, can't I? I can go travelling through it. And be like, hey, can I come instruct at your site for a few weeks?
Very quick with the meal service on this flight. I don't even think we've been up in the air for 45 minutes before they come around with this. I suppose it's 1:15 in the morning, so they've got to be speedy. I went for chicken and rice on this flight rather than the beef. You got a nice salad with a grapefruit dressing. The chicken and rice itself, obviously, it was in a sort of sweet and sour sauce, which was pretty nice. And then dessert was, well, it promised to be particularly nice. I thought it was some kind of Oreo cheesecake or something, but it was actually, I don't know the word for it, but it was basically like a jelly goo kind of thing. Well, I'm trying not to sleep too much because it's going to be the evening when I arrive in Auckland, and I'm attempting to beat jet lag, but it's time to shut my eyes for a few hours at least. Singapore for fastest I've ever done immigration into a country. I think that took 15 seconds at a push. Unbelievable. Well, I did slightly forget about biosecurity, so that's where they basically just check if you've got any food stuffs on you, because you're not allowed to bring them into New Zealand. Forgot about that. That only took 5 minutes though. So here we go. Auckland airport arrivals. We've done it. 24 hours on Air China, and do you know what? Wasn't even that bad. I'm going to enjoy a few days of my holiday now, and I will be back with another video. So see you next time.